me ask you a question. When did we start believing that every opinion about us deserves our attention? When did we begin handing over our peace of mind to people who haven't walked a single step in our shoes? The truth is, we can't control the noise, but we can choose what we listen to every day. The world tries to pull you in 1,000 different directions. Notifications, opinions, expectations. It's exhausting, but here's the thing. Focus isn't just about saying yes, it's about saying no. Saying no to distractions. Saying no to energy-draining drama. Saying no to trying to impress people who aren't even paying attention. When you know what you stand for, what matters to you, you stop chasing every voice in the room. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need to respond to every criticism. You don't need to fight every battle, because some battles aren't yours to fight, and most distractions are just noise, loud, constant, but empty. Now, let's talk about focus. Focus isn't just looking forward. It's building a world where your values lead the way. It's designing your habits, your thoughts, your time around your why, around what gives you meaning. Staying focused is not a matter of discipline alone. It's a matter of belief. If you believe your time matters, you'll protect it. If you believe your dreams matter, you'll guard them from anything that tries to blur your vision. So how do we stay unbothered? We stop personalizing what was never personal. Someone's bad day. That's not your burden. Someone's jealousy, that's not your responsibility. Someone's gossip, that's not your truth. You don't rise by reacting, you rise by building. You rise by doing the work, not showing the world how unfazed you are. The most powerful people I know don't yell, they don't clap back. They move differently because their mission is louder than the noise. So here's my challenge to you. Define your focus, protect your peace, and when the world throws chaos your way, let it bounce off your purpose. That's how you stay unbothered. That's how you stay focused. We live in a world where opinions are everywhere. Open your phone and you're flooded with voices, some supportive, others critical, many unsolicited. Social media, group chats, even strangers in comment sections seem to have something to say about who you are, what you do, and how you live your life. And if we're not careful, we can fall into a dangerous trap, believing that every opinion deserves our time, our energy, and our emotional response. But here's a truth that's often forgotten. Not every opinion is worth listening to. Just because someone has something to say doesn't mean it's rooted in truth or even in understanding. Most of the time, people project their own fears, frustrations, and insecurities onto others. What someone says about you often reveals more about them than it does about you. Their criticism might stem from envy, from misunderstanding, or simply from the need to feel powerful by tearing someone else down. When we internalize these voices, we slowly hand over control of our self-worth. We begin to question ourselves. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. This constant second guessing is exhausting, and worse, it pulls us away from what actually matters. Our purpose, our values, our vision. To stay focused and unbothered, we need to build an internal compass. That compass is made of self-awareness, clarity, and conviction. When you know who you are and what you stand for, opinions become just that. Opinions, not facts, not commands, not truths you need to obey. You can hear them, acknowledge them, and then move on without letting them steer your course. Let me think of it this way. If you're building something important, a dream, a career, a life aligned with your purpose, would you stop construction every time someone walked by and offered unsolicited advice? No. You take note if the person is a trusted architect or builder. But if it's just noise from the crowd, you let it pass. The same principle applies to your life. Not everyone has earned the right to influence your mindset. Respect is not automatic. Trust is not given to everyone. If someone hasn't invested in understanding you, your struggles, your journey, your values, their opinion, no matter how loud, should carry little weight. That doesn't mean you shut yourself off from feedback. Growth requires reflection. But reflection is not the same as reaction. Seek feedback from those who know you, who want the best for you, and who challenge you with love, not with ego. The people who matter will speak with care, not criticism disguised as concern. The ability to filter opinions is a superpower in today's noisy world. It allows you to protect your energy, your creativity, your focus. When you stop reacting to every outside voice, you reclaim the space to hear your own. You begin to lead yourself rather than be led by others. So the next time someone criticizes, doubts, or mocks you, pause. Ask yourself, do they know me? Do they understand my mission? Do they genuinely want to see me grow? If the answer is no, then let their opinion pass like background noise. Not because you're arrogant, but because you're focused. Your time and peace are too valuable to be spent proving yourself to people who never took the time to understand you. Let them talk. Let them doubt. You have work to do. Focus is often misunderstood. We tend to think of it as the ability to zero in on one task or goal, as if it's simply about directing attention in a single direction. But real focus, deep, lasting, meaningful focus, isn't just about what you choose to say yes to. It's more often defined by what you say no to. And in a world overflowing with options, information, and constant stimulation, everything is designed to steal your attention. Every app, every notification, every new opportunity promises value, excitement, or progress. And the more we say yes to meetings, invites, ideas, side projects, opinions, the more scattered we become. Energy spread thin leads to results that are shallow. What suffers most is depth. Saying yes is easy. It makes you feel corroborative, ambitious, liked. Saying no, that's uncomfortable. It can feel like you're turning down opportunity, disappointing people, or closing doors. But here's the paradox. Every yes is a silent no to something else. When you say yes to things that don't truly matter, you're unintentionally saying no to the things that do. That's why real focus requires discipline, not just in what you pursue, but in what you walk away from. It requires the courage to decline distractions that look attractive on the surface, but don't align with your deeper purpose. It's the ability to stop chasing validation and instead chase meaning. Every successful person you admire, every high-performing team, every powerful mission, they all have something in common: ruthless clarity. They know what matters, and they don't compromise it. That clarity gives them the strength to say no. No to shortcuts, no to drama, no to things that pull them off course. People often confuse being busy with being focused, but busyness is a form of mental clutter. It's noise disguised as progress. You can fill your day with activity and still feel empty. Focused people don't just fill their time, they protect it. They don't commit to everything. They commit deeply to a few things, the right things. Saying no is not negative, it's strategic. It means you've thought carefully about your priorities and you're choosing to protect them. It means you're not trying to please everyone, you're trying to honor what matters most. It's not about being rigid, it's about being intentional. If you want clarity in your life, if you want to move forward without constantly feeling pulled in 100 directions, you need to develop a filter. That filter is your purpose. When a new opportunity comes up, ask, does this align with who I am and where I'm going? If the answer isn't a strong yes, it's a no. You can't grow in 10 directions at once. You can't master your craft if you're constantly chasing trends. You can't be your best self if your energy is constantly diluted. Focus means making hard choices. It means choosing long-term impact over short-term approval. The irony is that when you start saying no, more often your yes becomes powerful, it becomes rare, it carries weight, and people start to respect it more. So if you're serious about making progress, don't just ask what you should start doing, ask what you need to stop doing. What will you cut? What will you walk away from? What will you say no to so that your yes can actually mean something? That's focus. And that's where real growth begins. When life gets overwhelming, when the world around you is loud with opinions, distractions, and demands, it's easy to feel lost or confused. We all experience moments when the noise seems too much. The chatter from social media, the pressures from work, the expectations from family and friends. It can feel like a storm pulling you in every direction, leaving you drained and unfocused. But there is a way to find clarity amidst the chaos, and it begins with your purpose. Your purpose is like a lighthouse in the darkest night. It doesn't silence the storm, but it gives you a fixed point to aim for. When you have a clear understanding of why you do what you do, your deeper reason for getting up every morning, everything else becomes easier to navigate. Your purpose acts as a filter that helps you sort through the noise, distractions, and competing demands that try to derail you. Without purpose, every opinion, every distraction, and every urgent request can feel equally important. You start to react to everything, pulled in multiple directions, losing sight of what really matters. Your energy gets scattered, your confidence weakens, and your progress slows. But when you anchor yourself in your purpose, you gain a sense of direction that can't be shaken by external chaos. This filtering effect means you become selective about what you pay attention to. Instead of reacting to every message, criticism, or opportunity, you pause and ask yourself, does this align with my purpose? Does it move me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, then you don't waste time or energy engaging with it. You let it pass like white noise. Your purpose also helps you protect your mental and emotional space. When someone doubts you or tries to bring you down, it's easier to stay calm and unbothered if you know your why. You don't take negative comments personally because you understand they don't define you. Your purpose gives you resilience. It reminds you that your worth isn't determined by external validation, but by your commitment to your mission. Moreover, purpose shapes your priorities. When you know what matters most, you can say no to distractions that don't serve your vision. It becomes natural to decline opportunities that don't fit your path, to avoid drama that wastes your time, and to focus on the activities that fuel your growth. Purpose transforms focus from a forced effort into an effortless flow. Another powerful aspect of having a clear purpose is that it attracts the right people and opportunities to you. When you're aligned with your values and vision, you begin to radiate clarity and confidence. People who share your values will notice and they'll support your journey. Doors open that were previously invisible. You begin to move forward with momentum rather than resistance. Of course, discovering your purpose is not always easy. It takes reflection, honesty, and sometimes trial and error. But once you find it, it's a compass that guides your decisions, your actions, and your mindset. It transforms how you experience challenges. They become stepping stones rather than roadblocks because you see them as part of a bigger picture. When noise tries to distract you, your purpose reminds you of the destination. When doubt creeps in, your purpose reminds you why you started. When people try to pull you into their drama or negativity, your purpose reminds you that your energy is sacred and meant for something greater. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or unsteady, stop and reconnect with your purpose. Write it down, speak it aloud. Let it be the filter that shapes your day, your decisions, and your mindset. Because purpose is not just an idea, it's a powerful tool that helps you stay unbothered, stay focused, and keep moving forward no matter what noise surrounds you. In a world that seems increasingly filled with conflict, controversy, and constant drama, staying unbothered can feel like an impossible task. Everywhere you look, there's tension on social media, in workplaces, among friends and family. It's easy to get sucked into arguments, misunderstandings, and emotional chaos. But if you want to maintain your peace and keep your focus, you have to learn a vital skill: detachment from drama. Detachment doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It doesn't mean shutting off your emotions or becoming indifferent. Instead, it means recognizing that not every conflict or emotional upheaval deserves your attention or energy. It means understanding where your responsibility begins and where it ends. Drama often thrives because we make it personal. We take comments or situations as attacks on us, or we feel the need to defend ourselves, respond, or fix things. But more often than not, drama is not really about you. It's about others' insecurities, misunderstandings, or unresolved issues. When you take it personally, you hand over your power to the chaos. Learning to detach requires emotional maturity. It requires you to step back, observe the situation without immediate reaction, and ask yourself, is this my battle? Will engaging here move me closer to my goals or just drain my energy? If it's the latter, then the best response is often no response at all. Detachment also means setting clear boundaries. You can't control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. Protecting your space, mental, emotional, and physical, is essential to staying unbothered. This might mean limiting time with toxic people, avoiding certain conversations, or simply choosing not to scroll endlessly through divisive content online. It's important to remember that drama is a distraction. It hijacks your focus and pulls you away from what truly matters. When you engage in drama, even if it feels justified, you lose time and energy that could have been invested in your growth, your relationships, or your work. Staying unbothered means valuing your time enough to refuse to get pulled into needless conflict. Detachment also requires compassion and understanding for yourself and for others. Sometimes people act out because they're hurting, confused, or scared. Recognizing this doesn't mean excusing bad behavior, but it helps you avoid escalating conflict. Compassion softens your reaction and strengthens your ability to remain calm. At the same time, detachment means standing firm in your values without getting dragged into emotional battles. It's possible to be kind and assertive without getting caught up in drama. You can acknowledge others' feelings while protecting your own peace. You can disagree without becoming defensive or reactive. Another key to detachment is mindfulness, being present and aware of your emotions without letting them control you. When you notice yourself getting upset or triggered, pause, take a breath. Remind yourself that you have a choice in how you respond. Practicing this over time builds resilience and emotional strength. Remember, staying unbothered is not about being passive or avoiding reality. It's about choosing where to put your energy, how to protect your peace, and how to stay focused on your path. It's about recognizing that you can't control every situation, but you can control your response. When you detach from drama, you free yourself. You create space for clarity, creativity, and calm. You become less reactive and more intentional. Your mind isn't cluttered with unnecessary noise, and your heart isn't weighed down by conflict. So if you want to stay unbothered and focused, start practicing detachment. Choose peace over chaos, choose your priorities over distractions, and watch how your life transforms when you refuse to let drama define your day. Discipline is often seen as the foundation of success. The ability to stick to routines, push through challenges, and keep going when motivation fades. But discipline on its own can feel like a heavy burden, a constant battle against temptation and distraction. That's why it's not enough to simply try harder or will yourself to be disciplined. True, lasting discipline comes from something deeper: belief. Belief is the fuel that powers discipline. When you truly believe in the importance of what you're doing, discipline becomes less about struggle and more about commitment. It's no longer a chore, it becomes a natural part of your life because your actions are aligned with something meaningful. Think about it this way: when you believe in a cause, a dream, or a purpose, you find the strength to show up every day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. That belief gives you clarity and motivation that goes beyond short-term feelings. It connects you to a bigger why that makes discipline feel worthwhile. Without belief, discipline is fragile. It depends on external factors like mood, environment, or immediate rewards. One bad day, one distraction, or one moment of doubt can make you give up. But when your belief is strong, you keep going through setbacks, failures, and distractions because you know your journey matters. Belief also creates a sense of responsibility. When you truly believe in your goals, you start to hold yourself accountable, not because you have to, but because you want to. It's an internal drive that pushes you to honor your commitments and follow through with integrity. This internal drive transforms discipline from punishment into empowerment. You don't see discipline as restriction, but as freedom. Freedom to create the life you want, to grow, to become your best self. When belief and discipline are connected, your habits build on purpose, and your effort feels meaningful. Moreover, belief helps you stay consistent. Consistency is the secret ingredient to mastery and progress. It's not about being perfect every day, but about showing up regularly, even on the tough days. Belief gives you the patience and perseverance to keep going, trusting that every small step adds up over time. Another powerful aspect is that belief helps you prioritize. When you know what truly matters, you focus your energy on the tasks and habits that align with your vision. You become less distracted by trivial things or quick fixes because you see the bigger picture. This focus sharpens your discipline and makes your efforts more efficient and impactful. Belief also builds resilience. Challenges and failures are inevitable, but when you believe in your purpose, setbacks become lessons rather than reasons to quit. Your discipline strengthens because you understand that obstacles are part of the journey, not the end of it. So how do you cultivate this belief? It starts with clarity. Reflect on your values, your goals, and the reasons behind them. Ask yourself, why does this matter? What difference will it make? Connect your daily actions to a purpose that inspires you deeply. Surround yourself with reminders of your belief, whether through affirmations, mentors, or community. Belief isn't static. It grows when you nurture it through experience and reflection. Celebrate your progress, learn from mistakes, and keep your vision alive in your mind and heart. The stronger your belief, the easier it becomes to maintain discipline, even when motivation wanes. In the end, discipline driven by belief is sustainable and fulfilling. It's not about forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. It's about living in alignment with what you care about most. When belief and discipline come together, you unlock your potential to achieve remarkable things, stay focused through distractions, and build a life of purpose and meaning. In a world that often equates noise with power and volume with influence, silence can seem like weakness. We're conditioned to think that speaking up loudly, making sure everyone hears our opinions, and responding quickly to every challenge are signs of strength. But true strength often lies in silence. Choosing when to speak, when to listen, and when to hold your peace. Silence is not about absence, it's about presence. It's the ability